Yobachi 2007 back at it again with another one. So I'm sure all of you have heard of this therapist who got fired for denigrating black men, including her patient population. I want to come at this from another standpoint. I believe she is a psychologist, which would mean master's degree, as opposed to a psychiatrist, which would be a doctorate degree.
Let me pause there. I actually got that wrong as I was thinking about it, even as I said it, but I didn't want to stop the flow of what I was talking about at the time. And what the situation is, psychologists typically have to get even a PhD. They may only get up to a master's degree, but in some states they're going to require all the way to a PhD. And a psychiatrist is actually an MD, a medical doctor. They go to medical school, can prescribe medicine, all that. Anyway, again, as I was beginning to say here, regardless of her designation, she does talk therapy with patients.
But either way, whatever her designation is, she gives talk therapy services to people who come in for those services. And I want to look at another dimension of it rather than going right into playing the videos we've seen over and over again, where she's denigrating men who she claims need mental health services from her or others like her. I want to go back, and I think I found out why she's the way she is. I think I found why she acts with the trauma response that she does, that she's acting out of trauma, and I think I found out why. Now, we're going to watch this video. The start of this video, she's talking about some nonsense about a Saturn return. I don't know anything about this astrology, spiritualism, sun worship she's talking about and don't care. It's beside the point, but stick with it because we're going to get the info that we need.
All right, part 2, bitch, of how I inadvertently recorded my healing process up until my Saturn return. Like ego, deaths, and all. This shit is really scary. Let's get into it. All right, so boom, your Saturn return is the point at which Saturn returns to the point where it was when you was born and shit.
Can't think of anything more absolutely irrelevant in all of the universe. Amongst all the stars and quasars, this is the most absolutely meaningless nothing. I guess she's going to talk about her moon being in retrograde next. Crazy.
And if you don't make the motherfucking cosmic shifts, turbulent shit happens. It's essentially your gateway into adulthood. Let's continue. All right, so I'm about to present you also with some numbers, and it's going to sound fucking crazy, but just stick with me. Okay, so I calculated my numbers for my Saturn return. Yeah, I didn't wipe my eyeliner off. Mind your fucking business, but let's continue. Here's where shit gets weird. The first warning square, I got some things to explain. Okay.
I would say this whole thing is already weird. But again, we're going to get to the good stuff. Just stick with it.
So boom, I was in college and an assault happened. And that shit sent me into a fucking tailspin of just trauma and relational manipulation and abuse. And the shit just never fucking ended. I never addressed the hurt of that fucking situation. And that shit manifested itself a lot in following relationships.
Boom. There it is. She told you directly herself. Sorry that she experienced that trauma, that type of assault. But she has that happen in 2014. I think she's getting ready to say that. She didn't already say it. And here we are 8 years later. She never dealt with it by her own recitation. She never dealt with it. We are experiencing her deal with it through this TikTok. And this is why I'm not so strongly on the go to therapy bandwagon. This is who is primarily at therapy. When you get to therapy, this is who you get. Unhealed, traumatized people who use the study of psychotherapy in order to self-medicate and to self-treat themselves, and they're not healed and they're not right. And this is who you go and get treated by, people who think lowly of you, who have denigrating views towards you, possibly, depending on what group you're in, and who themselves are more messed up than you are. She just told you herself. She went through a trauma and she's not healed. And she didn't even deal with it. This is how she's dealing with it through TikTok. This is her therapy. Her talk therapy is calling black men dusty bitches. This is her talk therapy.
All right, if you're enjoying this or appreciate what we're doing here with this work, if you wouldn't mind subscribing and just thinking about taking an opportunity here to hit us up with a subscribe, a like, and a comment. We'll get back to the video and get back into some more of this crazy. There's a lot more here for us to see.
Relationships. Let's continue. Let's keep going. When did this shit happen? 2014. What age did that shit occur? 20, bitch. Shit gets even spookier. Fast forward to a year later.
Again, don't know what that's supposed to mean. Who cares? It's irrelevant, but let's keep going.
May 2014. May what? Y'all see the date. May 24th, 2015. This is the day that I got in a relationship, or not got in a relationship, but I met the narc motherfucker that radically shifted my life for the worse, but inadvertently for the better. Hear me out. You see this bitch? She loved herself. Pay attention. This picture is literally the next day. As you can see, I used to wear like flower crown headbands because I was a flower child, like going wild, you know? But he was like, hey, that shit's stupid. So I literally stopped wearing them literally the next fucking day, bro. So my identity was already being peeled from me. Let's continue, bitch. As this relationship progressed, my mental health and my self-esteem and all these things progressively got worse and worse. As you can see, a bitch wasn't smiling as much. And this is two fucking years later. But there's something important in this caption that I want y'all to see. I presented things about myself random.
That's year 2 out of 6 years. This guy is all these horrible things that she's naming, but she stayed with him for 6 years. 6 years from like approximately, I think, age 20 to 26. So this is a quarter of her life at that point.
Some things that motherfuckers didn't even ask for, but this is important. I put right here is in one of the things, I am not a bad bitch. This motherfucker had me convinced that I wasn't me.
And there goes the extreme arrogance. There goes what we see with a lot of these modern women and their presentation of their queen. Every woman's a 10. They're all bad bees. They deserve everything under the sun. They can come to you with this kind of trauma, this kind of maniacal mind state, this near bipolarism in their behavior, or they're off kilter. They have high neuroticism. They come with multiple dudes, babies, daddies, and multiple dudes' children. They're traumatized by the dude who they gave themselves away to, and then they want to come to you. The dude who they gave themselves away to for free required no marriage, required no commitment, required nothing from them. And then they want to come to you when they're at the end of their rope, when they're smashing into the wall, and you have to give them everything, do everything for them, and take their abusive attitude and their nasty attitude and their abusive behavior, the kind of behavior that this woman constantly demonstrates. And all this attitude and about to drive a man almost to be as crazy as she is. This is what they want you to accept.
You could already see through my Instagram feed that my self was just diminishing. And this was only year 2. I stayed in this bitch for 6. Fast forward.
So you can see that she deconstructed and devolved again by her own explanation. That was year 2, and things were falling apart as things progressed. She was progressively deteriorating. All right.
What's up, yo?
Next one.
I got some shit on my mind.
Always.
And I want to spit it off. Do y'all mind listening to my finance real quick?
Again, more of the ego, more of the arrogance. Here she is supposing to be a black professional, supposing to be black excellence, and she comes up here looking like Felicia on Friday. This ridiculous extensions, absurd, inauthentic. Nobody wants that. Not to mention the green ink forearm tat, this prison ink tat she's got on herself. Again, this is black excellence.
Great. Let's go. Girl, is he treating you right, or is he just a pretty smile? Yikes, think about it. Girl, is he saying he's spending quality time with you, but he just spending the night at your house? Girl, is he saying he gonna hang out with you later and then leave you waiting all night?
You can see by her extremely immature behavior and emoting and how she presents herself, how she communicates, how she gestures, that she is stuck in that moment of her trauma that started occurring around 2021, 22. I mean, it sounds like it started occurring right off because he told her her flower child headband was stupid, which it kind of is, and she was already lost then. She has no personal inner fortitude with which to stand on her own internal being, and she just caved off the bat. So we can already see that she was already in trauma probably before that relationship started, that she was so weak, that she caved so early. She had no sense of self. Where's the id, right? She doesn't have the id. She just has a bunch of ego, and she's stalled in that moment in time, and she acts like a child, and a child with a nasty attitude to boot.
On multiple occasions.
He don't even like you for real.
Girl, did he stand you up?
So she has the thug tap on the front arm of the front side of the forearm, and on the underside of the forearm, it's the sailor tap position.
On prior arrangements that y'all had together ahead of time? Girl, do we make excuses every time he don't follow through on the fuck shit he say he's gonna follow through on?
There goes your psychology professional right there. Wonderful. So all these videos I'm showing are progressively newer. The first one I showed was the oldest one. Each one I show after that is a few days to a few weeks newer.
Ex looking better after she leave you.
This is your therapist.
Because she finally happy.
This is your therapist.
You was killing her.
Stripper dancing online in public, not at home in her bedroom with her man in private, going online wearing this ridiculous stripper outfit, doing her stripper dance. This is how she provides psychological services, because she's for the community. This was a big thing she said in her subsequent videos after she got fired, or when she was under duress about to get fired. She talked about how she was doing what she does for the community. She comes out here and serves the community. This is how she serves the community. This is what we're losing by getting her fired. Let me get this right. Okay?
Like she always was the shit. Now she know it. Now you want her back. Leave her alone.
More the
Ex
ego.
looking better after she leave you.
Lord,
Just because she finally happy.
Just a description.
You was killing her out here.
This is what we
like she always
22. This is how your mother was? Was this how your grandmother was? Some of you it was, but was this what we saw in black women predominantly in the 90s, 80s, 70s, 60s, 50s? No, this is what we get now. This is the best of
Okay, give me 3 minutes to spit some shit real quick.
Of course, this is not true. There still remains a remnant of those who are, par excellent. But this is a growing majority of what we get now. This is what men have to find for wives out there. Why aren't you married yet? How come you haven't found you a what? Find what? Find this?
Real quick, and a lot of y'all are not gonna like this, but I'm gonna fuck it. We ball. All right, I'm gonna.
This is how they talk. Your mama cursed, right? But like this, in public, in mixed company, vulgar as you can possibly be, every chance you get.
I need y'all to stop romanticizing Krishan Rock and Blueface's relationship, because that motherfucker is a king narc. And I'm gonna just provide you several.
Move on that one doesn't have much value. I'm just kind of going along here. I think the next one I can skip to is this one. This has a lot.
With great cooch comes great responsibility. So when
let's rewind in case I spoke over that.
With great cooch comes great responsibility. So when I say y'all need to find motherfuckers who are reasonably sane, it's because a lot of these motherfuckers is crazy out here, and that's some mental health issue.
She's talking about herself. Crazy with the mental health issues. Yeah, a lot of them out here. That's you. So here we go. So this is what the Black Excellence comes out. Starts off with more vulgar imagery. This is the basis of everything she talks about. More relationship stuff. Again, unhealed trauma from her 6-year relationship that she still hasn't dealt with. It's just more of this consistently. Then look at the laugh at the end of what she says. And let's watch some more.
It's crazy out here, and that's some mental health issue.
Maniacal.
Yeah, dudes will lie for the shit. They'll die for the shit. They'll key your car for the shit. They'll burn your fucking house down for the shit. Be careful, because you might be just going in for a regular hoe excursion and come out in a narcissistic relationship because they can't let that sweet girls go. But just because I
see it again, the maniacal laugh at the end of everything she says. she is unstable and unsteady in her person and in her mental. Constantly with this. Constantly. Then you saw she did the little stripper dance, shaking her booty cheeks, making each one of her legs wobble individually. So more stripper dancing. This is what you get from the psychology professional, the licensed professional. This is what we get for professional black women to go marry. And her constant harping on men and what they're doing and what they are. It just doesn't stop. But here we have it. We saw it in that first video. She told us directly herself. She has not dealt with and healed from her trauma. And so she has it out for men because she chose to deal with the dusty she chose to be with for 6 years with no requirements. And because things didn't go well with the person she spent a quarter of her life with, she now clearly blames all men. And everything is men. Men are all awful. Everything is men's fault. There's no accountability for her or for women for their choices, for what they lived with, for what they chose to do, for not requiring marriage before they lay down and spread their legs and give up their gifts. They don't have to do anything but just be. And everything that doesn't work out is the men's fault. This is an unhealed, scarred woman who is playing out her trauma before the world on camera. There's some more stuff I wanted to get to, but this video is running long enough at almost 16 minutes. So we'll come back and get at it with another one at another time. If you would, please subscribe and like the video. And we'll get back at it at another date, another place, another time. All right. Hibachi 2007. I'm out.